1. A user reports odd certificate warnings on her web browser this morning whenever she visits Google. Looking at her browser, you see these certificate warnings. Looking at the network traffic, you notice that all HTTP and HTTPS requests from that system are being routed to the same IP regardless of destination. Which of the following attack types are you seeing in this case? A. Evil twin. B. Man in the middle. C. Disassociation. D. Mac cloning. Answer: B. This is most likely some type of man in the middle attack. This attack method is usually done by routing all of the victim's traffic to the attacker's host, where the attacker can view it, modify it, or block it. The attacker inserts himself into the middle of his victim's network communications. Two users are reporting that the wireless network on one side of the building is broken. They can connect but can't seem to get to the internet. While investigating, you notice all of the affected users are connecting to an access point you don't recognize. These users have fallen victim to what type of attack? A. Rogue AP. B. WPS. C. Bluejacking. D. Disassociation. Answer: A. This is a rogue AP attack. Attackers set up their own access points in an attempt to get wireless devices to connect to the rogue APs instead of the authorized access points. 3. You're sitting at the airport when your friend gets a message on her phone. In the text is a picture of a duck with the word pwned as the caption. Your friend doesn't know who sent the message. Your friend is a victim of what type of attack? A. Snarfing. B. Bluejacking. C. Quacking. D. Collision. Answer: B. This is most likely a bluejacking attack. If a victim's phone has Bluetooth enabled and is in discoverable mode, it may be possible for an attacker to send unwanted texts, images, or audio to the victim's phone. 4. All of the wireless users on the third floor of your building are reporting issues with the network. Every 15 minutes, their devices disconnect from the network. Within a minute or so they are able to reconnect. What type of attack is most likely underway in this situation? A. Evil twin. B. Jamming. C. Domain hijacking. D. Disassociation. Answer: D. Disassociation. Attacks against a wireless system are attacks designed to disassociate a host from the wireless access point and from the wireless network. If the attacker has a list of MAC addresses for the wireless devices, they can spoof the authentication frames, causing the wireless devices to disconnect from the network. 5. Your e-commerce site is crashing under an extremely high traffic volume. Looking at the traffic logs, you see tens of thousands of requests for the same URL coming from hundreds of different IP addresses around the world. What type of attack are you facing? A. Domain hijacking. B. DDoS. C. DNS poisoning. D. URL redirection. Answer: B. This is a DDoS attack. DDoS, or distributed denial of service. Attacks attempt to overwhelm their targets with traffic from many different sources. Botnets are quite commonly used to launch DDoS attacks. 6. A user wants to know if the network is down because she is unable to connect to anything. While troubleshooting, you notice the MAC address for her default gateway setting doesn't match the MAC address of your organization's router. What type of attack has been used against this user? A. Mac cloning. B. ARP poisoning. C. Disassociation. D. Rogue access point. Answer: B. ARP poisoning is an attack that involves sending spoofed ARP or RARP replies to a victim in an attempt to alter the ARP table on the victim's system. If successful, an ARP poisoning attack will replace One of more MAC addresses in the victim's ARP table with the MAC address the attacker supplies in their spoofed responses. 7. You have a help desk ticket for a system that is acting strangely. Looking at the system remotely, you see the following in the browser. Cache, www.micros0feet.com web link. What type of attack are you seeing? A. PowerShell. B. Domain hijacking. C. URL redirection. D. Disassociation. Answer, C. This is a URL redirection, as the name Microsoft has a 0 in place of the O character. 8. You are seeing a bunch of PDFs flood people's inboxes with titles such as new tax rates for 2021. What attack vector is most likely in use? A. Python. B. Macro. C. Man in the middle. D. DDoS. Answer, B. PDFs have macro capability and can execute a variety of code bases, if allowed. 9. When you update your browser, you get a warning about a plugin not being compatible with the new version. You do not recognize the plugin, and you aren't sure what it does. Why is it important to understand plugins? What attack vector can be involved in plugins? A. Man-in-the-middle attack. B. Domain hijacking attack. C. Man-in-the-browser attack. D. URL redirection attack. Answer, C. Man-in-the-browser attacks are frequently carried out via browser extensions or plugins. 10. Your network scan is showing a large number of address changes to the MAC tables and lots of ARP and RARP messages. What is happening? A. MAC flooding attack. B. Disassociation attack. C. Jamming attack. D. DNS poisoning. Answer, A. This is a MAC flooding attack, an attempt to overflow the MAC tables in the switches.